Hello, welcome back to this course on working capital management. We have looked so far the overview of working capital, what are the elements of working capital and why do we want to manage the working capital. Now let us look at the advantages and disadvantages of having a very high working capital components or low components. So basically, um, inventory, the high levels have some benefits, which is you can supply quickly, you can have less production days, so you have some benefits. But the cost of having a higher inventory is obviously a higher investment. If you are taking loan from the banks or from government, then you are using that money to keep the higher inventory, which is not producing anything, so you are paying unnecessary interest. Higher inventory also cause high storage cost, risk of getting out of the fashion, risk of obsolete, risk of shrinkage, risk of spoilage. So there are always risks. And if let's say you have a very high competition, for example, FMCG, fast moving services, there is a new brand, there is a new version, the older inventory is difficult to change. So whenever it's a fast moving product, for example, Apple, if they keep a super high inventory of iPhone 11, they will not be able to launch iPhone 12, because in that case all the inventory of iPhone 11 will go obsolete, or they have to sell it at a very low price, means they will not be able to optimize their profit. So by that, so their Apple is managing their inventory before they launch the new products. So similar way, whenever in manufacturing industry, garments, food, whenever you are bringing a new product, you have to ensure that the old inventory is consumed off. So managing the inventory is very critical for a business success. The low level of inventory, however, also have its own risk. The low level of inventory can cause shortages. The people's customers may not get their goods and services in time, so that may be a problem when you have low inventory levels, especially when there is a short-term riot, short-term setbacks in any country, supply chain disruptions for a shorter period of time. You can be out of business if you don't have sufficient inventory levels. So managing an optimum inventory level is very crucial. The benefit obviously is that it saves the cost of storage, it saves the cost of financing it. So there is a less risk of obsolescence. So that is all about the inventory. How do we manage the inventory? We're going to be looking at in our future sections. Now you have cash. The cash benefit, high level cash definitely gives a much sense of security that we have enough money, and it gives confidence to suppliers, it gives confidence to the people in large, employees, that we have enough, we are cash rich, we don't have to worry about anything. But high cash comes at a high cost of return. The shareholders are not giving the money to business to keep in the bank account or to keep in their hands. They want that to be invested or returned to them if you are generating a lot of profits. That is why you will see many companies are doing share repurchase programs or paying off the dividend instead of keeping money into the business. If they don't have any project or they don't have anything that they think they're going to use the money for. Low level of cash, however, increase the insecurity level in the business, and also you may have to borrow for in the short term because you don't have enough money or enough liquidity in the business. So it can increase the transaction risk every time you may have to borrow money, but it does reduce the financing cost if the company has taken loan. If the company has not taken any loan, it does not, low level of cash does not save anything much because you are not paying anything out of it, but it does reduce the cost of maintaining it. What is the cost of maintaining the cash? The cost of maintaining the cash is definitely insurance, it's security and other aspects. You have low level means you have to pay low charges. If you have high level, you have to pay the high charges. Let's look at the other two components. The other two components of the working capital is account receivable. High level of account receivable shows that you have been maintaining your customers, you have high customers, you have high credit sales, they can pay slowly, but the problem is that it may cause more bad debts, it may cause high collection cost, it can increase your finance cost. Low level, however, signifies that you're not selling enough on credit, or you may be losing out to your competitors. So it means that you have to manage and say with the eye, what is the industry practice? Is it really credit sale is required, or we can work without it? The benefit of this low account receivable would be less financing cost. Then you have payables and accruals. The payables basically are your suppliers which you have not paid. So high level of this means your supplier can be unhappy, or you may be deemed to be misusing or your suppliers, or arm twisting your suppliers. The unhappy suppliers, because they get paid slowly. Then you have low level of supplier, means you are not using enough of financing to support your working capital, or you may not be taking full advantage or optimizing your ability to minimize your working capital. So in that case, you have to borrow money from somewhere else to finance your account receivable, to finance your inventory, or finance your cash. So it may increase your financing cost. And the only benefit, the customers are happy because you are paying them immediately. So you may get some low prices, you may get some cash discounts, that can be the benefit. But the company has to out the way, okay, which way is better? Do we pay the suppliers and get the cash discounts, or we don't pay the we use the credit facilities but not required with the cash discounts? So that is all about the benefit and the risk of different working capital components. We're gonna see you in the next videos for how to manage these components.